To be truly wealthy and successful, there is one very specific skill that you must learn to master, and that is your state of being. So your state of being they are your emotions, your feelings, and how you show up in the world, how you respond to different things that happen to you rather than react. So you are either at the mercy of the forces in your life, or you are responding in a way that is considered and appropriate. This is the difference between those who are just being flung around by stuff that's happening in their life and those who look at what's unfolding, they consider all their options, and they take what they see as the most appropriate action to get the desired result. It's a massive difference. And when you learn to master your state of being, instead of your emotions being at the whim and the will of everything that is happening to you, you are in the driver's seat of your life. So today is day 29 of the 30-day Money Mindset Challenge. I do hope that you have enjoyed the series so far. And this is something that is in the wheelhouse of Tony Robbins. He is the master of mindset and state of being. So, and he has all these methodologies and how he works with people to help them to master their state. But you don't need to be Tony Robbins or to have Tony Robbins in your life to master this skill. What you need is a sense of awareness. You need to understand the power of the mind, and you need to deliberately take control from this point forward and start to develop and master this incredibly powerful skill. Think about it. We are thrown into all different kinds of situations in life, particularly, and often things that we don't foresee coming. And there is no person in the world who is not subject to the forces of life. We cannot control what is happening out there. We can have influence over that. We can have a great deal of influence over what happens in our life, in the way that we behave, the way we show up, the attitude that we have, the actions that we take. We can certainly influence the results that we get, greatly influence. We have huge power over that. But if you are constantly reacting to shit that is happening in your life, then you are literally giving your power away to those external forces. The only thing that you have control over is your internal emotional state of being. Now, there's multiple different reasons you need to master your state of being. Firstly, it is to be able to respond when things don't go your way, which is almost all the time. Things are very rarely going to go the way you expect, the way you anticipate, or the way you want. Get over it. Suck it up. It is the way it is. That is the nature of our world. You are here to grow, to learn, to expand, to become a better version of you. Now, how can you become a better version of you if you aren't being challenged and if you aren't facing different and new situations all the time that actually cause you to grow? You grow on the edge of and outside of your comfort zone. So get comfortable being uncomfortable if you want true wealth and true success. You look at any highly wealthy and successful person, they are very rarely, if ever, living in their comfort zone. They are always living on the edge and living outside of their comfort zone, okay? Now, when something unexpected happens in your life that causes fear and stress and anxiety to rise, which happens, it happens to all of us, the way you master your state of being is to breathe. You don't react like most people do. You breathe. You rock back. You take a step back and you go, okay, wait a minute, not ideal, freaking out right now. Breathe. Center. I understand that the universe does not give me a challenge that I am not capable of overcoming. I understand that. I also understand that I am bigger than any challenge I will ever face. I also understand that there is a solution to this problem. I just have to find it. Now, when you are in a state of consideration, of deep, thoughtful consideration, and you set this thing, this incredibly powerful supercomputer that you have up here, to work and start to look for the solution that you need, the optimum solution from what you know, and you set it to work to find that solution, and you start to take positive action toward finding a way around, over, under, through this situation to create the most optimum outcome that you can, depending on the circumstances and the conditions that you have, then the universe will work with you. But if you are reacting, if you are just in freak out mode, and this is the way you go through life, constantly stressed and anxious and in this freak out mode, then you're not finding solutions. You are just in a state of hyper-reactivity. And if you are in that constant fear-based state, guess what happens? You are just finding all kinds of things to add to your stress, to your fear, to your anxiety. It is not optimum. Not only is that a very non-fun way to live life, it also causes massive stress on your physical self, and you will ultimately end up in dis-ease with illness in your body. It will break down. It can't handle that amount of stress hormone, cortisone, coursing through your body all the time. So that's why I love techniques like tapping, because when you get into freak out mode, what's the first thing that you do? Okay, I need to calm my central nervous system down. I need to tap. I need to breathe. I need to consider my options. I choose to know that it's all going to be okay. I choose to realize that I have the power within me to be able to solve this challenge that I did not see coming, that I wish I didn't have to face right now. Like, I truly feel so overwhelmed right now, but I choose to release the overwhelm. I choose to understand that I am infinitely powerful. I choose to know that I can find the solution. I choose to breathe. I choose to know it's all going to be okay. Okay, so that was just a little bit of spontaneous tapping. If you've never experienced tapping before, then that is such a simple, powerful process that helps to calm the amygdala and the central nervous system and that fight-flight response. Seriously, cortisol, when it is coursing through your body and you are in that fight or flight response, it literally robs you of something like 70% of your intelligence, and your ability to solve problems in that state is very compromised. So when you're doing the tapping and you're breathing, you are literally calming down your sympathetic nervous system and reactivating your parasympathetic nervous system, which you are taking your power back. Now, when you start out on any venture, you're super excited, right? And you're thinking, oh, this is going to be so cool and exciting. And then as you progress, you find the challenges and all of a sudden it gets harder. So you go through this emotional cycle, which is uninformed optimism. You don't know what you don't know. You think, wow, this is cool, this is exciting. The next phase is informed pessimism. You suddenly realize, oh my goodness, this is not as easy or exciting or as fun as I thought it was going to be. And all of a sudden I'm out of my comfort zone and things aren't going the way I want. And I just don't know how I'm going to solve these problems. And man, maybe I'm just going to distract myself with something else over here. Sound familiar? So informed pessimism, you are on the precipice of change. This is your moment of truth, because then you get into the value of despair. Despair is not a bad place to be. Despair is realizing that you underestimated what it was going to take, that you didn't realize and you don't know what you don't know. And there's a learning curve, and then there's things that you don't understand, and you're in a new landscape. It's okay. Breathe. Understand that this place of despair has immense value, because this is your moment of change. This is the test that every single wealthy and successful person goes through, and probably goes through over and over and over. You get used to it, because on the other side of the value of despair is success. Now, nobody can tell you how long any of these phases are going to last. It is a different journey every time, depending on how big your goal and vision is, depending on how big your challenges are. But this is a constant, never-ending cycle. So get used to it. As I said, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So all of this is about mastering your state of being. And once you do this, you will be so incredibly powerful. And this is a process. This will take time. If you've not done this before, then this is going to take time. But if you do the steps and you remember what I've told you in this video, if every time something happens and you increase your level of awareness and you can just stop, breathe. Do you know another very, very powerful way to master your state of being is to take 6 deep breaths. So in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. Do that 6 times. It literally resets your central nervous system. If you do it in the power pose, hands on hips, feet shoulder width apart, head really tall, so you're stretching your spine, your physiology directly impacts your psychology. Another really handy tip. Now, the other reason that you want to master your state of being is because this directly impacts your frequency and vibration. Remember, you are a being of frequency and vibration. Everything in the universe is energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla stated that. And when you learn to master your state of being, then you can access those higher frequencies and vibrations of joy, of calm, of peace, of happiness, of love. And when you're in those higher states, you are in alignment with the universe, with source. And you are this transmission station that is sending out a signal to the universe 24/7. And when you're sending out coherent messages and you're not interfering with the message as it is transmitted to the universe, and the universe receives a coherent message of what it is that you want, then it can send back to you what you want because you're not interfering, you're not blocking, you're not scrambling the signal on the way out. So remember, the law of attraction is like attracts like. So if you want more money, abundance, freedom, joy, happiness, prosperity, wealth, then you need to be in those higher states of frequency and vibration. And this comes from mastering your state of being. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, give me some love. Like and subscribe, comment below, let me know how this landed for you. Now, if you would like to learn the 8 steps to being the best and most powerful version of you and achieving anything that you put your mind to this year, then you need to check out this video, because this will actually take you step by step through those 8 power tips that are going to help you to take control of your life, your future, your wealth this year. So you can check that out right here. And if you've missed any of the videos in the series, you can check out the entire playlist right here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.